We apologize for some technical difficulties. As always, this is a student-run broadcast, so got to expect some of those from now and then. And first drive of the game just continues to go as Salpointe starts with the ball. They've driven it almost out to the 35-yard line. And tonight we see the Bears sporting their black and pink uniforms for breast cancer awareness. Me and Lucas, we got some pink on, and Madeline Smith down the sideline filling in for Ronan. She has as well. Stepping back, Basha getting in the backfield. He breaks some tackles, but in the end, that will be Dante Bruley bringing him down for the 2-yard gain. And it seems that these Lancers, they want to go quick as they're not even in huddle right now. They're waiting for the call, trying to run a sort of hurry-up offense. Alvalar looking at the sideline. Avalar jet sweep. That's number 1, Alan Dion, who is stuffed in the backfield for the loss of 3. Rolling out to his right, and he just throws it out of bounds.
As Pierce are all injured with a broken collarbone, so it's a little funny to see how they all
And right there, we see the Bears stop him right away. As always, I'm Tay Fitzpatrick, Lucas Bartolotta with me tonight, and the punt is up to Caden Williams. Fun fact about him, he's the best punt returner in 6A, but that one doesn't go for too long. And the Bears, good field position here at the 39-yard line. Noah motioning out, veers looking left, turns to his right, and he finds Jaden Baldwin for the 10-yard gain. And Veers looking out to his right along the sideline, trying to go for Christian Diaz, but it will be ruled an incomplete pass.
Brody Veers in his senior year here at Basha, so far through the first 6 games and 7 weeks, because we had a bye week last week, he has almost 1,200 yards passing.
Veers to Roberts. Roberts up the middle for the first down. He surges forward for about 4. That'll be the Bears' first down of the game, and they're looking good right now.
Yeah, we're going to see Noah Roberts get his first action of the game very early here in the first quarter. With him, his rushing and receiving yards are very similar. He's been more of a dual back so far, more like where Josh, has been just so run heavy.
And now we see both these backs in the backfield, and it goes to Gaines, who runs up the gut, and that's about a 5-yard gain for him. We see the Bears run that formation a lot lately. We got Noah Roberts and Josh Gaines in the backfield. You have Noah motion out, and Gaines usually gets the ball, and if he doesn't, it goes to Roberts.
Most of the men who do pave the way for these two-star backs, Jake Hildebrand and Jajon Yarbrough, stand out. You know, big beasts up in the left tackle and right tackle positions. Both of them combined have 59 offers. It's very exciting to see where they're going to commit to college.
Veers dropping back, looking right, but incomplete as he's looking for Cash Brock. There is a flag down, though. And a little something to look out for. Number 25 on Salpointe Catholic, Brian Melton has reached 50 tackles on the season. That's a big milestone for him, and we'll be keeping up with those milestones as we go on in this game. And that will be a defensive penalty as the Bears advance the ball 15 yards up the field as they have Roberts in the backfield. Veers dropping back yet again. Looking deep for the end zone, and Cash Brock's got it. He did come down with it. The only question is, were the feet in? And it looks like he was ruled out of bounds, and almost a great play for the Bears.
That's what I really like to see from Brody Veers, throwing it deep very early. Most of the time we just see small check downs to the running backs or to the wide receiver out routes. Most of the time he doesn't take a shot deep, but on 1st and 10, inside almost the red zone, it was very nice to see him take one shot at least, get the Bears rolling early here.
And here we see that 2 running back set. Roberts motioning to the left, and he will get the ball this time. But it's almost intercepted, tipped off the hands of Roberts, and nearly fell in to the hands of Salpointe Catholic.
Very rare miss from Noah. Most of the time those plays always work. He just uses his suction cup hands type esque, and he just kind of grabs the ball and then finds his way to make a small gain most of the time.
And coming into this game, we know that Salpointe has had a pretty good year so far. They're 4-2, and they have 15 turnovers on the season, forced turnovers that is, and that's great for a team. Veers looking to his left, using those legs, and coming in from behind. That's Noah Bonney, And that will be his 5th.5 sack of the year. I guess you could call that one another milestone. And these Lancers, they're getting at it early. And now we see Mikey Barth coming out in the field for what will be a 48-yard field goal. This would be the longest of his career. And the kick is up. He sure has the leg. And that will be good. A 48-yard field goal to kick off the game. And, last year we saw him miss a couple from deep, but he's 1 for 1 so far. And we will see the Lancers take the field again as we wonder if Avelar will be able to push the ball a little bit deeper downfield this time.
On the Salpointe side, Coach Ryden, the head coach, he has a couple keys for the game that we got. He wants to focus on establishing the run game early. He wants to avoid getting the 35-point deficit in that running clock, because as we know, the Bears have been so great in doing so, and they do want to limit their turnovers. So if they can just keep the ball on the ground, keep the ball out of Basha's possessions, they could definitely make Basha work for the win, or even the Lancers can come out of here with a win.
And I mean, Lucas, you called it. Another touchback for Mikey Barth. And now we see this dominant Bash defense take the field here. And the Lancers jogging out on the field. Avalar looking to get this offense rolling. In the backfield there we see Chris Chaney, excuse me. Gorey motioning. Pass over the middle, incomplete. Off the hands of his receiver. That was Bryant Lopez with the drop. The Salpointe team does need their 3 top wide receivers. All of them are out with a collarbone broke, if that's how you want to word it. Yeah, broken collarbone. And this will be another run for the Lancers. This one going out to the right and stuff for a no-yard gain.
And as I announced earlier, it is homecoming for the Basha Bears.
And
many of them
apologize for cutting you off, but this play's about to start here, or at least it looks like it. Some confusion on the field, but yes, it is homecoming night. We'll hear more about that from you, Lucas, later tonight, as Avalar looks to continue this drive. 3rd and 10 from the 20-yard line. Avalar dropping back, looking to his left, and incomplete. That is Xavier Rivera-Rogers there on the pass breakup. We said his name a lot last year. He's been a little less effective this time around, but that's a great play.
Another one who has already committed, another senior who has already committed. Can't wait to see him play in the future for college. He's committed to New Mexico.
And the second time we've seen this punt unit out here for Salpointe Catholic. 4th and 10 from the 20. And I know the Bears' last game, there was a little bit of trouble with the other teams punting, one which resulted in a safety with Westwood. But this one's up and it's good. And Caden Williams taking it down the right side. He's got blockers ahead, green grass. And I wasn't expecting that at all if you heard my voice at the beginning, but that just shows his playmaking ability. Takes it 60 yards down the field for the touchdown. There is a penalty on the field, though.
And I just want to say, even if the touchdown does not stand, like you said earlier, Tate, they had the #1 special teams.
And what a touchdown by Caden Williams. We've talked about how good of a player he is, but now we toss it down to Maddie Smith with the injury update.
Mahalovich on the snap, Rogers on the hold, Bark on the kick, and it's good. With 4:57 remaining in the
Thanks, guys. For Basha, our defense took a hit this week. Senior defensive back Trey Knox is out with a patella injury. Senior defensive lineman E.J. Washington out on a stress factor in his foot. Drake Martram and DeAnthony White are sidelined for tonight's game with knee injuries. If we take it to the other side of the field, the Lancers are having the opposite issues, as their offense is missing 3 of their star receivers, all out on a collarbone injury: senior Parker Pierce, senior Ben Pruitt, and junior Kane Collin. Thank you, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Maddie, for that wonderful update, and we're a little bit disappointed for Ronan Slattery. He's not down there on the sideline with us right now, but we had to change up some personnel for this game and now Mikey Barth kicking the ball off back to the Lancers. And another touchback for him. It really is, and now this offense and Avalar taking the field here. Empty set, trips to the left. And he's looking down the middle. He finds outside to David rushing for about a 5-yard gain. And if you're Salpointe Catholic right now, 5 yards is all you need. Some of your plays have been incomplete. Some of them has been 0-yard runs. So just getting that ball a little bit downfield would help you in the long run. Heavy set here in the backfield as Avalar hands it off to Cheney. And Cheney is taken down behind the backfield. We see Eli Kramer-Cronin in on that one, along with Mason Lewis, and we know both those guys have been out for a couple weeks. Mason Lewis due to transfer rules, and Eli Kramer-Cronin was injured for 2 games, but now they're back in and already making a difference. And looking at some of the stats here, take a quick pause on those stats. There is a timeout on the field called by the Lancers. We apologize for any technical difficulties here. It is a fully student-ran broadcast, so apologies. And here's Maddie back down on the sideline with some stuff about breast cancer awareness. Didn't tell me anything.
Thanks, guys. You guys may notice that the Bears are sporting a special jersey for tonight. It's in awareness of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. If you guys are looking to support breast cancer awareness, the Basha Booster Club has created these t-shirts in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You can pick them up at the merch stand for $22. Back to you guys.
And that was Caleb Jordan right there. Sack number 5 on the year for him. Another milestone has been reached, and that forces another 4th down. Thank you for that wonderful update, Maddie. And the Lancers, 3rd time sending the punt unit out, and Caden Williams back there, best punt returner in 6A. Let's see if he can take this one home again. Almost getting in for the block. That's Mason Lewis. And Caden, he sees something going down the middle, but he's swarmed a pile of humanity on the Bear in the center field right there as Basha will take the field at the 45-yard line. Veers in the backfield with Gaines, and it's a screen pass out to the right. That's Cash Brock, but he drops it. And now he is someone we don't see that happen too often. Just at 100 yards with him. That will be on at halftime, and he's really disciplined. Surprised that that was a drop. And Veers in the backfield yet again with Gaines. Gaines gets the ball running up the gut, and that'll be his best run of the game as he lurches forward for about 4 yards. And the Bears right now making quick work of this drive. Already have the ball out to the 41-yard line. 3rd and 6. And now we see number 88 on the Bears limping off the field. That's Zach Lucero. Not someone we say often, but Coach Mack obviously trying to rotate some people in for homecoming. Veers back to Gaines. And Gaines putting his head down straight through the middle of the defense. Jess, he's not going down. He's not going down. Oh my goodness, that defensive line just got plowed over by Josh Gaines. And Gaines takes it all the way down to the 10-yard line. What a play by Josh Gaines. No flags on the field. That will be a good run for Gaines, and that'll be a memorable one as timeout has been called on the field.
And just so I have some time here, this homecoming game that I was so sadly interrupted with. Many of the homecoming students here, they are pumped up for tomorrow. There is a clear bag policy for the students. They need to make sure they can't bring any unclear bag. Make sure your students pack something very light in the clear bag if you're going to take up, and then everything else needs to be left into the car, unfortunately. Students, have a nice night. Enjoy your night. Make sure it's filled with plenty of fun.
And we apologize. Lucas was, kind of not being able to be heard for that first little bit of the game, but he's back now. Veers looking down the middle. Not a good throw. Going straight to the Lancers. Almost coming up with the interception was Mark Woods, but in the end it's ruled incomplete as it will be a 2nd and 13 for the Bears. Veers with Gaines in the backfield. Both Cash Brock and Jaden Baldwin out to the left. And Gaines will get the ball back, blocking out in front. Makes a man miss, but in the end he's tackled for about a 3-yard gain. And that'll set up a 3rd down and about 6 for the Bears as they look to convert this one to get up 17-0.
Yeah, and a good run by Noah there, and I just want to talk about him a little bit. He is another senior that this Bears offense or the whole Bears team has to offer. He's got some leading offers from San Diego State and UNLV. Definitely could see him playing there, as their colleges do need a running back, and he is a very good one.
And Brody Veers with Roberts this time. A pass down the middle of the ball went incomplete. Pass down the middle of the ball went incomplete there for Veers, and that'll bring him a 4th down. Some confusion there on the field. Veers looking for the call on the sideline. This will be a 4th down, but there's no signs of bringing the kicking unit out onto the field. 4th and 5 from around the 8-yard line as we see Cash Brock and Jaden Baldwin, their 2 best receivers, lined up on the left side. But this time it will be a Veers QB keeper. He gets the outside, but didn't look like a 1st down. And it will be a turnover on downs as we see Bonnie celebrating a little bit for the Lancers. And that's a big stop for Salpointe.
Yeah, and that's just a very small mistake that Brody Veers made. A recent commit too as well. He is a senior, so it is his last year here at Basha. He is committed. Sorry, excuse me. I was like, he has a commitment to North Texas. North Texas is going to be getting a very good quarterback and a dual threat type of offense that North Texas has to offer.
And Avalar taking the field again. Low snap, and he's tackled in the backfield. Ball comes loose. The Bears recover it. That'll be Dante Bruley, his 2nd touchdown on the year. His first one came earlier against Mountain View. In this one, snap, by Avalar, and easy touchdown for the Bears. Seems like going forward on 4th down came up in their favor anyway. And now here's Maddie Smith back down on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. Today I'm here with Amy and Brandy. Amy, tell me a little bit about Hudson and how this opportunity came about.
Yeah, we got a call in 2017 about a dog that had been burned over 85% of his body with acid and gang initiation, and they were really afraid infection was going to set in, so they were going to put him down, and they gave us like a really small window to go save him, and we did. And it took about 6 months to get his wounds under control, and then we had to surgically rebuild his back leg, so basically had to rebuild this dog. But he's so worth it. I mean, he has every reason in the world not to trust anyone, and he loves everybody. So yeah, he's just a most amazing, tender heart. So, and he lives for things like this. He just loves people.
That is so beautiful. So tonight, him being the honorary captain, what was your goal at coming out here and have him being the honorary captain?
Well, I think it's what we love is just the power of like unconditional love, and his scars are beautiful. No matter what you've been through in your life, there's always this redeeming opportunity that you have to make the most of your life and love everybody, and so that's what he does. And so we were so thankful when they offered to highlight him and the rescues that we have in our foundation, because everyone has such a sweet story and is so worthy of love and so worthy of a home that will treasure them.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys coming out tonight.
And we welcome you back after that stellar touchdown by Dante Bruley, his second one on the year. And what a play to force that fumble out by Kaiser Wilson. A little bit of a muff, but he did get in there, as now the Bears up 17-0 with no offensive touchdowns, which isn't a stat you hear every day.
And just to quickly point out, you did say Dante Bruley with the touchdown. He is a new senior, recently committed to Wyoming. One of your favorite players, say Josh Allen.
He really is. And Avalar hands it off the wrong way, and Mason Lewis getting in for that sack. And this Salpointe offense is in total disarray. It seems like they have no clue what's happening. They had the muff snap the play earlier, and then that one hands it off the wrong way, goes to run, and Mason Lewis getting in there for his first sack of the year.
And one of the keys to the game from Salpointe over here, it was to run the ball. And obviously, we have not seen that at all. Both the muffed snap was supposed to be a run play, and they couldn't run it. They ran it backwards, and ended up as a touchdown. And then, as Tate, you just pointed out there, he handed off the wrong way. They really do need to get something going here. Otherwise, it's just going to be a blowout by the time the end of the second quarter happens and we head into halftime.
And speaking of the end of the quarter, this first quarter is winding down, as it looks like the Lancers will let it run out.
That's the end of the first quarter. After 12 minutes of play, Lancers 0.
And as the end of the first quarter happened, we do want to give a special thanks to Burrito Express here. They have been giving us the fast and fresh burritos every single day whenever we ask for them, and especially for us in this booth, they give it to our fast and fresh MVP at the end of the game. And as you guys are watching it on the Basha Bear Network on YouTube, we are a fully ran student broadcast. Make sure not to leave our page, and please enjoy our weekly episodes we produce, and enjoy the news anchors we have with Maddie Smith and Abby McAdoo, produced by Allison Herrera every Friday to see what's going around at Basha. Enjoy some episodes from our podcast Table Talk by our very own Tate Fitzpatrick and Reese Thompson here in the booth, and Bear Buzz starring Shruti Rajesh. And get a daily update every day on Instagram, where you can also just find us by searching Basha Bear Network. Another person that we are starring here in the booth is our rules and our penalty analyst, Jackson McDonald, who everyone loves and dearly supports.
And now we see Avalar taking the field again, looking out to his right. Lofted that pass outside to Gorey. And now we bring you up into the booth to where Jackson McDonald is waiting. Jackson, how's this game been going?
You know, when we heard from Coach Ryden, he said he wanted to establish this run game, but that simply just hasn't happened yet, with all of their rushes being negative yards except for 2, which are both quarterback keepers by Avalar.
Well, Jackson, thank you for that update. We will be keeping track of all your stats all game long, and that's our first update. Last live stream, obviously, we had Reese Thompson on the call. Some questionable calling by him, and he's getting a little upset in the box right now. He's running that score bug for us tonight. But Jackson, glad to have you back. You ditched us for Disneyland last time. That's kind of like a stab in the back, you know.
Yeah, how was Disneyland?
Here, we'll have Jackson back on. Jackson, how was Disneyland?
You know, it was pretty fun, but I'm happy to be back here, happy to be broadcasting again, and I'm excited for the rest of this game.
And I would once again like to apologize about some technical difficulties we had in that first quarter. Seems like we've gotten at least some of them sorted out. Our producer Chili C and Shruti Rajesh both up here solving all those problems. we thank you. I know there was some point where we couldn't hear Lucas, so his great commentating was just not being heard. But we're back, and we're better than ever.
And thank you, guys. Thank you.
Avalar, empty backfield. Cheney motioning right as he rolls out to his right. That pass incomplete to Gorey. His third time in a row targeting their number one receiver, Gorey, but there is a flag on the field.
And what I've seen recently from this Bears team is they've been very great at limiting the amount of flags that they have. Last game, I don't think they had over 3. I think they had 3 in what they had. So this Bears team has been very great at limiting the amount of flags that they've had.
But that one, an unfortunate one for the Bears, as it allows a first down for these Lancers. That was an unnecessary roughness call. And, I mean, you just can't have that if you're Basha. And we thought that Salpointe would be running it a lot this game, but they seem to be running empty set an awful a lot. Avalar looking right, deciding to try and run for it, but Tony Tahi, the big man, in front of him, and he sniffed out for the sack. That will be Tony Tahi's 3rd.5 sack on the year. And, I mean, he's looking to bump that number up this game.
And like you said before that play too, Tate, one of the keys to the game by head coach Pat Ryden for the Lancers, he did say that they were going to run the ball a lot. Maybe he faked us out when he was talking about his keys to the game, because what he said has not matched what so far the Lancers have been doing in this game.
Well, now lining up here, they do seem to be in a run formation. They've got a jumbo set sort of over there, 2 tight ends on that left side, and Cheney in the backfield, but it isn't a run. Kaiser Wilson getting in the backfield, Basha pressure, but he is able to find an outlet in Moyle. Moyle getting close to the first down there, setting up a 3rd and short, about 4 yards for the Lancers.
And Isaac Moyle, who we just saw, caught that ball. A senior who has not been getting a lot of targets. Right now, that was his 3rd reception of the year through the first for their 7th game of the year, and only about 25 yards, if my math is correct, on 3 receptions, which isn't bad, but only 3 receptions all year through 7 games is not good.
And Avalar, once again, alone in the backfield, trips out to his left, and he looks that way, trying to find Gorey. Incomplete pass, and Eli Kramer-Cronin making his presence known. There is a flag in the backfield. A roughing the passer call on the Bears.
And maybe I did jinx it when I said they only had 3 flags last game. So far in this drive, they had 2, and the 2, they costed them big time.
And that one, obviously not a good penalty. But the good thing to take away from that play, that was number 3, Caden Smith. He's been out since week 2 of the season, and to see a player like Caden Smith come back into this game, and that's really good for the Bears because he's a great player.
Like you did say, from injury, unfortunately Trey Knox is away on injury. He is a great special teams player and a very key part of this Basha Bears defense.
And Avalar handing it off to Cheney, who's able to get about 6 yards out. Don't forget, stay tuned at halftime. 100 yards, where I walk and talk with some of Basha's top athletes. And this time, it's Cash Brock. We haven't said his name much yet on the broadcast, but I'd assume that soon here he's going to get a touch or 2, and when he catches that ball, you know he's going to break it for big.
And like you just said, Cash Brock, a recent wide receiver who's committed to Colorado State. Colorado State's going to get a very big key part of their offense next year when he does attend there as a freshman.
And another thing coming on during halftime, I'll continue right after this play here, as Avalar got the play out of the sideline and they're lined up in pistol formation. It will not be a handoff though, looking to scramble out in the pocket, and that'll be Caden Williams down on the sack. followed by Dante Bruley and Mark Dorson. And we see Dante sort of a half sack. He's at 9 sacks on the year. And speaking of Dante, at halftime, Ronan Slattery will be doing his Basha's best with Dante Bruley. That's going to be a good one. Last year, Tony Tahi and Brody Veers were the Basha's best. And this time, we got Dante Bruley on this episode, so stay tuned for halftime for that. Avalar, once again alone in the backfield. A lot of motions. Flags fly. He is stuffed on that play, but you got to think it's an illegal motion penalty.
Flags flew from every direction. The 3 closest refs here did toss their flags.
That penalty will be declined, though, by the Bears, bringing up a 3rd and 15 here for the Lancers. It's a 17-0 ball game, but the Bears haven't had much motion on offense. They really have had a couple big special teams in defensive plays that got them most of their points, 14 to be exact, and then a 48-yard field goal by Mikey Barth, which was huge at the end of, or at the beginning of that first quarter, excuse me. And we'll see now if the Lancers go back to their run game, which they've been so dominant at all year. They do not. Avalar looking left, and Dante Bruley getting in for the sack. And what do you know? Another milestone has been hit. Dante Bruley, that's his 10th sack on the year. He leads 6A in sack, but not only that, with that sack, he now has 2 more sacks than the Salpointe defense has had all year long.
Yeah, and like you said, number 10 for number 10. 10 sacks for player number 10 over there. Dante, very key part of this Basha Bears defense. And I just want to point out, like I did say early, committed to Wyoming, where Tate, your favorite player, attended there, Josh Allen.
Yeah, and I mean, love Josh Allen, but the Bears almost getting in on that block punt. And, I mean, dropped out near the sideline. That was number 0, Banny. He plays defense for the Lancers. Shows how far out of bounds that kick was, but the Bears will get the ball around the 30-yard line.
And I think that's why he plays defensive line. No hands, hit him right in the chest, and he just dropped it. So,
and there we see Dante Bruley celebrating a little bit on the sideline. You already know he's quite aware that that's his 10th sack on the year.
Yeah, he's such a key talent to this Basha Bears defense. It is spectacular to watch him from up here in the booth, and every single time he steps on that field.
Roberts in the backfield with Veers, and Roberts will get the ball, running it up the gut. Nobody can bring him down as he tumbles ahead for about an 8-yard gain. Some good running by the Bears early, and we see Noah Roberts using some of his strength, kind of looking like Josh Gaines right there.
Noah, such a very talented running back, and like I said earlier, he's second in the team with 35 offers from D1 colleges, many of which stand out as Ohio State and Alabama, which he could very much attend.
A lot of movement, shifting of wide receivers. Don't think that was designed, but Veers dropping back, looking out to his left, escaping the pressure, looking deep. And both Jaden Baldwin and Christian Diaz slipped. A little bit of miscommunication on that play, it seemed like. That will bring up a 3rd down for the Bears.
Yeah, and a little bit of a flag animation that Jaden Baldwin wanted. Definitely could have been holding or some form of PI that could have happened to Jaden as he was trying to attend the ball and almost picked by the Salpointe defense.
And some milestones reached by Salpointe. We have Brian Melton. He's reached 50 tackles in the season in this game, as well as Banny getting 5 sacks. And Veers giving this ball to Josh Gaines, who's stuffed in the backfield. What do you know? It's Banny once again getting in there for the TFL. And that'll bring up a 4th down. We saw earlier, Bash is a little aggressive with these 4th downs. Doesn't always pay off in their favor, but doesn't seem like to be bringing the punt unit out.
And I do like to say I do like the aggressiveness of this Basha Bear offense. We never really see him go for it, especially on their own side like we're going to see here as they do take a timeout. They could definitely bring on the punting team late.
Well, Lucas, I love how you said aggressiveness there. It was really aggressive, and I think that really just showed how this Basha offense rolls. And 4th and 2, you're up 17, ball on your own 38-yard line. I honestly don't think I'd go for this. Maybe in Madden I would. I'll admit, in Madden I would, but that's not a real game. If you think about it, you don't get this 4th down conversion. All of a sudden, Lancers get the ball in your territory within your 40-yard line, and that's not good for the long run, as if they score here, it's only a 2-possession gain.
There is just over 6 minutes here in the second quarter. The second quarter has flown by as of recently.
And here we see the Bears setting up on 4th down. They still elect to go for it. Jaden Baldwin and Cash Brock lined up on the same side again. Gotta think it might go to one of those two, because Roberts in the backfield instead of Gaines. Veers rolling out to his right. Design QB keeper, and that will be a 1st down. The Bears, the risk pays off, as now we throw it on down to Maddie on the sideline with a new injury update.
Hey guys, in the first quarter, number 75, Dejan Yerbori, offensive lineman, was seen limping off the field. It is now reported that he has an ankle injury, and it is unexpected when he will return back to the field. Back to you guys.
And, I mean, Maddie, you kind of cut us off there, but I said it earlier, Cash Brock, you get him the ball and he's going to score. Brody Veers finding Cash Brock for the 60-yard score.
And it just shows how important, like I said earlier before that timeout they took, I do like the aggressiveness that this Basha Bear offense is going to bring, because if they decided to point on that 4th down, they might not have scored there, especially on the next play with that Cash Brock deep completion that ended up for 6.
And that will be Cash Brock's 5th touchdown reception on the year. He had 2 last week against Westwood, and his streak stays alive. And the extra point, is good. No doubt about that one. 24-0. Basha, their offense hasn't been playing the greatest, but that big explosive gain, really does help them out a little bit on this game.
And one of the keys to the game from head coach Pat Ryden, not get to the 35-point deficit. As we see, we're only 11 points away for the Basha Bears. They can definitely find a quick 3-and-out here. They can definitely score at least a field goal, maybe even another touchdown to get up to 31 pretty quickly, or 27 depending on how they score. But it just sees to show you how much of big of an impact that this Basha Bears offense is, and how really good they are, and why they're the #1 team in the state of Arizona.
The Bears set to kick it away yet again. And the kick is up. And he almost makes a field goal there, but it will be a touchback. And lining up in the backfield. Alvarez this time. Alvera is out. Don't know why. Cheney with the handoff to his left for the 2-yard gain. This Bears defense not allowing much of a run game.
This Bears defense offers a total bunch of commits. 5 players have already committed on this Basha Bears defense, and many of them do continue to have offers rolling, and this Basha Bears defense definitely helps out with that offense and being number 1 in the state, as I continue to privilege to say, and then so far an undefeated season, which is really good.
And a little bit of confusion here. Maybe the quarterback switch. Again, Alvarez in for Alivar, excuse me. But Alvarez able to find his receiver out to the left. That will be Gorey with the 5-yard reception, but there are flags on the field. And that is an illegal shift on the Lancers. And this quarterback switch seems to have confused at least some people on the team, as Alvarez going up to talk to the ref.
Very quick quarterback switch. We usually don't see teams switch their quarterbacks only in the second quarter. I do get it how they are down 24-0 and they kind of need some more momentum shifting here, but I don't really see a reason why to switch quarterbacks so very early in the game.
And Alvarez looking out to his right, trying to find Gorey on the flat route, but it's an incomplete pass. That sets up a 3rd down and 13. And looking over at the Bears student section, it's pretty full. Homecoming is tomorrow night, as Lucas has said. And it's blackout day for the Bears, and that student section full of spirit.
This defense here has, they got so many weapons to make so many key plays to this game.
Alvarez rolling out left, escapes the pressure, trying to find one deep, and he finds Gorey. Gorey over the middle for the 30-yard gain. And that just shows you right there why R.J. Gorey is such a highly recruited player. He's a 3-star athlete. He's got offers to a couple of places, including U of A, New Mexico State, NAU, and UTEP. He's had a great season so far, and he's able to get open right there.
Such a very talented wide receiver, like you said, highly recruited. He's now over 400 receiving yards on the season. He already has 4 touchdowns on the season with almost 40 receptions. He's such a very talented wide receiver.
Alvarez looking right, escaping the pocket as he uses some of his speed to get about a 7-yard gain, and all of a sudden this offense is rolling with Alvarez.
And I think I should kind of keep my mouth shut of how quickly they should switch quarterbacks. So far, we've seen some more tempo and some very quick pace that Alvarez seems to offer just to boost this Salpointe Catholic offense. Very entertaining for the game here to see if they can kind of climb back here as of late into the second quarter and maybe late when they begin the second half.
And that is a timeout called by the Lancers.
Go. Am I ready? Now for the quarterback situation, we typically hear out with the old and in with the new, but simply we're out with the new and in with the old, as senior quarterback Reyes Alvarez has really got this offense moving.
And Will Jackson, obviously the quarterback switch just happened, but what are some of these quarterback stats comparing against each other?
You know, Alvarez off that one completion has more yards than Avalar has had so far this game, which is a bit crazy to think about. And when it comes to rushing, he's already the team's leading rusher too.
Okay, well, thank you for that update, Jackson. We were here for you again, coming back from the second half. 4 minutes, 6 seconds left in the first half. And Alvarez giving this team a jolt of momentum as he lines up with Cheney in the backfield. Excuse me, Dion in the backfield. And Alvarez throwing out to Gorey, but he is tackled for a loss. Caleb Garcia getting in with the tackle end. I mean, it's really hard to block him. If he's running full speed, there's no way you're going to stop him. It's just impossible to stop every player on this Basha defense.
And as we see there, he's kind of taking off like a jet straight at RJ Gorey. And what I'd want to say with the Jets there is I think I kind of wrote it perfectly good. He is committed to Air Force, as we will see him next year attend Air Force. He's going to be such a hard-working defensive player to attend Air Force. We talk about him a lot in the booth, and he has such a big impact on the Basha Bears defense.
And Alvarez, play action. Landon Wade getting pressure. It's an interception. That one's thrown to Mason Lewis. He was looking out to his right for his receiver, number 88, Jeremiah Wells. But that one, Mason Lewis already coming up big with the interception on his second game for these Bears.
Yeah, and Mason Lewis, as we see, a great interception there. And I just want to continue with these college commitments or college offers. Mason Lewis, he has not committed yet, but he does have plenty of offers, including some from ASU, Cal, Iowa State, Kansas, Utah, and newly kind of high up in the rankings here, Vanderbilt.
And Veers looking to his back, loading one deep. That's Cash Brock again, and he's wide open for the touchdown. Cash Brock, his second touchdown of the game, and I mean, what an amazing game he's had so far. 2 catches, already over 100 yards. And, I mean, speaking of 100 yards, he's going to be on at halftime. He's our 100 yards guest for this week, and that shows you why, because he's one of the best receivers on this Basha team. He gets open so easily, whether it's a short, shallow route or a deep route, he's always open.
I think I should just kind of talk more and put a kind of a little bad spot on all these players, because whenever I put a bad spot on players, so far this game, they've kind of shines bright, you know. Cash Brock obviously hasn't, like you said, hasn't gotten many touches, and then we see 2 big touches by him, both resulting in touchdowns. And like I said, Brody Veers, we haven't seen him throw deep so far, but the 3 times that we've seen deep, even 1 incompletion, but 2 completions, big to Cash Brock for 14 points that have resulted on that board for Basha. I think I should kind of just continue to talk down on some of these players otherwise, and then we'll get a game for ourselves here.
And Lucas, I know we talked to Coach Mack before this game, and we were asking him some questions, and one of them that we asked for him is, what would a successful game for the Bears look like? And he says he wants to see Brody Veers and Cash Brock and all of his receivers connect for big plays like that. They want the big explosive plays to happen more often, because this season they haven't happened the most. So 2 plays like that, it's huge for the Bears and exactly what Coach Mack wants to see.
Yeah, and we see Brody Veers, he's now going to have over 1,300 passing yards on the year, and he is going to have 18 passing touchdowns on the year, and a very high completion rate so far. We haven't seen him miss a lot of targets so far, and he has limited his interceptions so far this year through the first 7 games, with only allowing 3. It's a very quick offensive turnaround that we've seen in these last recent games, especially coming from Brody Veers, and the way he finds his targets is so special, and what kind of helps his Basha Bears offense improve to a very great 6-0, number 1 in the state of Arizona and number 18 nationwide.
And Alvarez taking the field once again, looking out to his left. First read not open. He hits the second one, though. Gorey, he's been a great target for him. Caden Williams on that tackle. And don't forget to stay tuned. 100 yards at halftime. It's going to be a good one. We got Cash Brock on with us. And, I mean, he's had 2 big plays so far. He's had a great season. Welcome back. And flags fly before the snap. That'll be a pre-snap penalty. Got to think that's a false start. That's usually what it is. But it's not. It's a neutral zone infraction on the Bears. And that will be the 3rd penalty on this Basha defense, who usually doesn't get penalized, as you said earlier, Lucas.
Yeah, and so far, from last game to this game, and slightly particularly just in this quarter, they've matched the number of flags that the Basha Bears have thrown. Last game, they only allowed 3 flags, and so far, just in this first 10 minutes of the second quarter, as we head down to the 2-minute mark, we've seen 3 flags fly already for this Basha Bear defense. So,
and Alvarez looking right, almost intercepted by Xavier Rivera-Rogers, and he might have been gone if he picked that one off. This Bears defense is flying all over the field. I mean, I would call it a no-fly zone, going back to your Air Force joke you made with Caleb Garcia, but this Basha defense is locking down the Lancers.
yeah, and another safety or a DB that we have to offer who just made that play right there, Xavier Rivera-Rogers. He's also committed to New Mexico, so he will be joining the brother right alongside with him and Eli Kramer Cronin up in New Mexico.
And on the field, Landon Wade coming up with the play. And Dante Bruley getting in there as well, as we will have a stoppage of play.
And just a great defensive stand right here just to offer so far. And like you did say, Tate, Landon Wade, he is a sophomore who has already had 6 offers, I think, is what he's had so far. So definitely in the 2 upcoming years that he will be playing as a Basha Bear, get ready to expect to see him get a lot more offers, especially with his big size and his great defensive abilities. And we do have another punt here that is going to be happening by the Salpointe Catholic Lancers.
And like you just said, Salpointe punting away yet again. The Bears not showing much pressure this time. Caden Williams running all the way out to his left, trying to avoid tackles, ends up going backwards, but he has not been stopped yet until he's taken down at around the 42-yard line. That will be number 17, Landon Pedersen, with the tackle.
I did not like that return from Caden Williams. He caught it essentially just on his own side of this Basha Bear logo that is on the field. And like you did say, he did go backwards. From the point of where he caught it, he definitely could have just fair caught it and he would have gained more yards.
And I see the special teams coach down there showing some frustration. We saw it a little bit last season on one of those games where Dash Blake ran backwards there. Caden Williams doing the same thing as Veers in the backfield with Roberts. Quick pass down the middle to Christian Diaz, who gets it out for about a 15-yard gain, and he's had a pretty good season for himself with 62 receiving yards on the year on only 4 receptions.
This Basha Bear having a very quick tempo offense here, having trouble getting set.
And quads out to the right, almost intercepted, caught in. That was an interesting play call right there. You run a hurry up, a little bit of confusion on the quads to the left, almost intercepted, and that would have been bad for them by Mark Woods. The ball bounces up, and it's caught by Jaden Baldwin for a loss of about 7. Not sure if that's really the play you should have run there. Veers, quick pass down the middle once again to Christian Diaz. I mean, they're sure seeing something, but the ball did come out at the end. They did rule him down, and the Bears are moving with some tempo. Veers looking out to his right, incomplete pass out to Jaden Burrell, And Burrell, he's one of those guys, you don't really see him get the ball much outside of the end zone because he's one of those players who has 3 touchdowns on the year. He's a really good red zone target.
And what I do want to see here, it is 4th and 9, but I do not think that the Bears offense should stay out there. They should bring in Mikey Barth, who we've seen earlier hit it from 48. It would obviously be longer and almost close to 60, but there's no point really to go for on 4th and 9, especially almost on your own 50.
But Veers dropping back, pressure, getting it immediately, looking out to his right, throwing it deep to Noah Roberts, who catches it in the end zone. The refs talking, and it is a touchdown. Brody Veers to Noah Roberts for the 50-yard score. And we've talked about it before. We'll say it again. Brody Veers escaping the pressure, using his legs, and throwing an absolute dime to Noah Roberts. And that is Veers' 20th touchdown on the season. I'd assume a new career high. He's had a great year.
And I mean, I hate to say it again for the fans who are watching this broadcast, but every single time I kind of talk down, especially on either team, they kind of show us why I shouldn't have talked down. Brody especially has been outshining the way that I've talked about him just to begin with, and these long passes that I feel like he should be taking, and he has been taking them, and he's just continued to show why he's such a big leader for this Bears offense, and why he's just like such a good player, and why he leads this Bears team to a perfect 6-0 season.
And as we head into halftime, 11 seconds left, we have Maddie Smith down on the sideline with Tim McBurney, one of Basha's first coaches. And that kick, once again, a touchback for the Bears. And something to note here, we've seen star Basha offensive tackle Dejon Yarborough on that medical bench for a little bit now.
We did see him get injured in the Mountain View game that we had. At the end of the game, he did have an ankle injury, so it could definitely be something up with that ankle again. It's such a tough look to see for the Bears, and it's such a star offensive lineman that the Bears do need. But like I want to say before the halftime, when we get from the halftime, it is going to be a running clock because the Bears will be up by 35 plus. So for the remainder of the game, and especially the second half, it is going to be a running clock, which means that this Salpointe Lancers offense, they need to get going if they need a chance to come back in the second half.
They really do, but only 11 seconds to show for it. And that one already picked off by Mason Lewis. Called incomplete, and there's no video review in high school, so that one will be that one will not be an interception, as Mason Lewis almost coming up with the second one on the night.
And as you said, there is no review, but if there was to take a review there, I think he did get his feet in, and we do play college rules, so only 1 foot does count. As we saw on the previous Noah catch, which a camera probably hard to find there, but it was really hard to find, which it's okay, but definitely a takeaway that the Bears could have had in putting 3 more points up on the board.
And handing the ball off this time to Cheney as he gets a 3-yard gain there, but the halftime horn blows, and it's 38-0 going into the halftime break, as now we actually have Matty Smith down on the sideline with Tim McBurney, one of Basha's first coaches.
Stick around, football fans. We're going to introduce your 25-26 homecoming royalty here in just a minute.
There's a homecoming game.
What a great way to end our second quarter. Right now, I'm here with Tim McBurney, the original first head coach of Basha's athletics program, and he made history and was inducted into the Arizona High School Coaches Hall of Fame in 2007. So how does it feel to have coached a team that is this successful now, being ranked number 18th in the nation?
This is awesome, and our alumni is here tonight. We're just so proud of what Coach McDonald has done and what the players here have done and have been able to accomplish. It's just great. It's great to come back.
It truly is. Now, speaking of coming back, after all these years, how does it feel to be back on the field?
It feels good. I did 48 years of coaching, high school football and track, so I'm glad it's over. I'm glad I can golf and fish now, but it was a great run.
Well, that's truly incredible, and we are super glad that you made it out to tonight's game. Back to you guys.
Okay, she's ready to go. And
That it?
Tate, ready to come back to Tate. Ready to come back to Tate. Tate 6, go for it.
And that was a great first half for the Bears there. 38-0. They have the lead right now, and this halftime we got a couple special things, including the homecoming king and queen being announced. It will be an extended halftime, 20 minutes long, as now we're going to go and take a look at some of our halftime videos we'll be running, 100 yards being the first one.
The Basha Fish Government is excited to announce 25-26 homecoming royalty. These students were nominated by Basha's staff because they believe these students are the best representatives of benevolence, honor, and scholarship. Their peers voted for them to represent the student body on the homecoming court. Please put your hands together. Give a big round of applause to our BHS Stugo officers. They will be crowning our royalty this evening. Okay, football fans, up first we have our winners from our freshman class royalty. Scarlett Jacobson is a freshman at Basha this year. She is an honor student, a dedicated scholar, and a basketball player, and a member of student government. She loves to volunteer and she loves drinking boba tea. Scarlett loves to laugh and make others feel included. She is having so much fun here at Basha as a freshman, and she's excited for a great freshman year. Moses Lovall is a freshman at Basha. He's on the freshman football team, and he loves to exercise and be active. He is also a talented artist. He can often be seen fist-bumping fellow students in the hallways, bringing positive energy everywhere he goes. He is excited for his next 3 years at Basha. Give it up for your freshman class royalty. Up next, we've got our sophomore class royalty. Xavier is a sophomore here at Basha and is enrolled in AP and honors classes. He maintains a 4.8 GPA in his second year of wrestling. In his free time, he enjoys playing the piano and rock climbing. Haley Sugarobsky is a sophomore here at Basha who's enrolled in honors and AP classes. She maintains a 4.4 GPA. Haley is part of the flag football team and track and field team. She's also vice president of the club, Hearts for Hope. In her free time, she likes to hang out with her friends and bake for her friends and family. And on a personal note, she's a darn good chemistry student. Give it up for your sophomore class. Put your hands together for your junior class royalty. Colin Groh is an honor student and an AP student here at Basha. He loves playing soccer, maintains a 4.5 GPA, and is an active member of the Basha community. He's known for his contagious smile and kindness towards everyone around him, and he's looking forward to a great year. Amara Nuosu is a current junior here at Basha and has been a Bear for 3 years. She enjoys learning new content, having last-minute hangouts with her friends when she should be doing her homework, and going on long drives. She's a dedicated member of the Health Act Club, HOSA, and has aspirations of becoming an internal medicine doctor. Amara is enthusiastic to see what's coming up as she finishes her high school here at Basha, hoping many more memories and wonderful friends. Put your hands together for our underclass royalty winners. Okay, now here come our senior class royalty. Up first, we got Eli Cronin. He's a senior here at Basha. Eli's a dedicated student and maintains high grades in all his classes. On top of that, he's a varsity football and baseball player. In his spare time, Eli enjoys spending time with his friends, family, playing guitar, and taking care of his horses. His teacher can attest to his kindness, consideration, and strong character. Capri Doolin is a senior here at Basha. She's a 4-year varsity letterman on the Basha Palm squad. She's also game day co-captain and varsity team. Capri leads by example on and off campus. She is extremely hardworking in everything she does, who lives by the golden rule. In her free time, she loves hanging out with her friends and family and training at her dance studio. She's proud to be a Basha Bear and excited for the best memories here at Basha. Up next, Sam Rohoff, a current senior here at Basha, maintains a 4.0 GPA. In 3 years as a varsity player and also a member of the NHS National Honor Society. In his free time, Sam likes to spend time with his family and friends. He likes spending time outdoors, hunting and fishing, and he looks forward to his senior year with fun and great memories. Reagan McDonald is the captain of the varsity Palm team and a member of Basha's National Honor Society. She's also part of the Flower Girl program with the Chandler Service Club. Reagan loves representing Basha and making a positive impact in her community, and she can't wait for the rest of her senior year. Up next, Caden Williams, varsity football player here at Basha, and he excels in academics as well as in athletics. He's known for being a dedicated school student, And as well as working hard with his team. He works hard to represent positivity and the work ethic here at Basha with his football team. He looks forward to a great senior year. Taylor Drury is our next senior. She maintains a 4.3 GPA. She is a 2-year state champion in Gatorade Player of the Year for cross country. In her free time, she hangs out with her family and friends. Our next senior, Vidan Patel, got a 4.0 GPA in several extracurricular activities and is a dedicated member of the Martial Arts Club. Outside of school, he enjoys playing video games and spending time with his family, and he enjoys hiking. Vidan plans on attending ASU and pursuing a career in business. He is honored to be in the homecoming court. Maddie Johnson's our next senior here at Basha, and she's enrolled in honors and AP courses. She maintains a 4.5 GPA in addition to playing club soccer and running varsity track. Maddie's favorite thing to do in her free time is hanging out and spending time with her friends. We appreciate all of our nominees. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Our 25-26 homecoming king and queen. Drum roll, please. Our 25-26 king and queen, Caden Williams and Taylor Drury. Congratulations. Please put your hands together. Give a big round of applause for the entire homecoming royalty. Royalty, please stay on the field here for a couple of minutes, get your pictures taken, and we'll see everybody tomorrow at HOCO. One more time, put your hands together for all of our homecoming royalty. Well done, young folks, well done. And now, put your hands together.
Welcome back to 100 Yards with Fitz, where we walk and talk with some of Basha's top athletes. And this week, we got Cash Brock. Cash, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
And you know what else has been good? I mean, your season so far. You've got 4 touchdowns on the year and almost 400 yards. How do you think that's been going?
It's been going pretty good. A slow start at the season, but throughout the games, it's been getting better.
And you just mentioned that slow start. What do you think caused you to keep on getting better week after week?
I'd say just like my teammates and my coaches just like installing in me that the game plan's coming, we're going to throw the ball, and we're going to get the ball to you.
And speaking of teammates, you had some leave last year in Gio Richardson and Dash Blake, and you had some new ones come up, Eric Newman, Christian Diaz. So how has that wide receiver room changed?
I would say that I would have to step up and be a leader more to these young guys because they're juniors and I'm the senior now, so just being a leader, to be honest. But I feel like as a collective, we're all just together. We're really tight.
And how do you think your leadership helps to promote that togetherness?
I would probably just say, like, just if they mess up, just at a calm tone, you just bring them to the side and just coach them up. And then outside of football, probably just like inviting them over just to keep the bond together.
And that's something that a lot of people have been talking about. This bond of this Basha team has been so strong this year. How do you think that's different from years prior?
I would say it's very tight. Everyone knows each other and everyone is like tightly compact. There's no like different groups. Like, everyone just like talks with each other. Like in other teams, it's been different.
And speaking of bonds, you and Brodevere have been electric this year. Why do you think that is?
I would say just from the previous years, like I already played with him last year, him coming up to varsity, and then just getting reps outside of football when it was in season. So I think that's what helped us get electric.
And we talked about your leadership earlier. How has he been a good leader for this Basha team?
I definitely seen a step in his voice. He definitely is getting on people more, which was much needed this year.
And obviously a lot of the offense left last year, but this year still seemed like a firehouse in Arizona. Why do you think that is?
I'd say the dominant front that we have right now. They're young guys, but they're very big. Everyone's big online, and everyone is very tightly compact.
Yeah, and I did 100 yards with Dijon earlier this year. Obviously, it was right when he was coming in, didn't know many teammates' names, but he knew yours, so that really stands to how good of a player and a teammate you've been. And the Bears, 6 weeks into the season, approaching playoffs, how do you think their season will shape out to be?
State championship, obviously, that's what the goal is. And then just getting through this back half, just dominant and strong, and just finishing it off.
What preparation do you have to do to finish off this back half strong?
Just staying determined in practice. You know, it's the late half. Everyone wants to get complacent since we're winning, but just not being complacent and just staying strong.
And finally, what's one thing you'd want people to know about you?
I'm a really good bowler. I like to bowl.
So, like, what's your best bowling score?
Mine is 182.
182?
Yes.
Well, that's probably about 30 better than mine. I'm not the greatest bowler, but Cash Brock, multi-sport athlete, I just learned. Thank you for joining 100 yards. I can't wait to see you play some more this year.
Thank you.
It's been a long road back to the gridiron for Basha senior Dante Bruley after a meniscus tear in his right knee. Had him watching from the sidelines during his junior season.
Yeah, at first I was pretty down because I was going to miss my whole junior season, but at the end of the day it just turned into motivation for me to get back as soon as possible and keep going to PT and get stronger from it.
I'll tell you what, I've been so impressed with him from how he handled his injury to him coming back and his determination. And how he's like completely transformed his body and his mindset he's determined.
Upon returning, Dante found himself with a new challenge. He needed to change positions from linebacker to defensive end in order to help his team.
It was a little hard at first learning a new position, but at the end of the day it's all football and I just had to go wherever I'm going to help the team out.
And I'm so impressed with how he's never played defensive line before, how he's taken to the position, and even though he won't play this at the next level, but how he's embraced it, and he's making the best of it, and he's one of the best in the state at it.
Being the best, along with his leadership, is something that Dante takes a lot of pride in and hopes that leading by example will leave a lasting legacy.
I would say that just to show that I could bowl out and from an aspect that everybody knows that I got their back, that I'm not scared to go against anyone, so that we could face anyone in the country for real. And
Dante's leadership is, he leads by example. He's one of the strongest, if he's the strongest, one of the fastest, and he just goes balls out, hard as he can in everything that he does.
Yeah, right now I have 5 offers to Wyoming, UTEP, NAU, Montana State, and Sacramento State. Most likely I'm probably going to go back to linebacker. Most of my offers are for linebacker because I'd be on the smaller end for a D end in college, so I'm probably going to switch back to linebacker.
So it's my job as a coach to prepare him mentally, physically, as well as emotionally, right? How to handle things and how to adjust on the fly to certain things.
Whether it's playing linebacker or defensive end, the impact he will make will always be game-changing. I'm Ronan Slattery for BBN Sports.
Carly Ray.
And we welcome you back for the second half as Noah Roberts trying to make something happen, but ultimately tackled back around the 10-yard line. And that was a great first half for the Bears. They're up 38-0 here as their offense is ready to take the field, and we already see Jake Rogers marching out there.
And one person we do not see going out there with the offense is DeJon Yarborough. He is still on in the somewhat medical tent that we offer here at Basha. He is still out with an ankle injury that he possibly suffered at the end of the Mountain View game.
Do you still want to go to us?
See, and then a pass here to Jaden Baldwin to begin the second half, and it is going to be a running clock for all of the second half. As Tate just previously said when we came back in, the Bears are already up, so 38-0, so it is going to be a running clock for the second half.
And Rogers in the backfield with Gaines. Gaines getting the ball, pounding it up the middle for about a 5-yard gain and a first down.
And then some of the talents that this Basha Bears offense has to offer here. Noah Roberts, obviously many offers, same with Josh.
And Jake Rogers again taking the snap, but flags fly early. False start on the offense, it seems.
Is she doing the camera? I don't give a crap. Okay.
And they will be moving 5 yards backwards after that false start penalty. Setting up 1st and 15 from the 20-yard line. Rogers looking to his right, under pressure, spins out of it. He's going, gets about a 7-yard gain, and we see him able to shake some things up and get a couple yards. Jake Rogers using his legs.
A little Brody-esque there, as we can see. Jake not really used for his legs, mostly used for his arm as a junior. He's got a little stronger arm than Brody, but so far in this game we've seen Brody throw some absolutely deep balls and has resulted in about 4 touchdowns.
And Rogers still back for the snap. More false starts called as we see a couple of different linemen rotate in. We saw at the end of last half, DeJon Yarborough needed a little bit of assistance, and he's still sitting there on that medical bench getting some people tending to him. Confusion on the field as play has stopped. 2nd and 11 with already only 9 minutes to go in this third quarter. Rogers dropping back, looking deep, throwing to Josh Gaines. Gaines comes up with the reception. And I thought it was kind of a boosted stat before this game. He was averaging 67 yards per catch because, of course, he'd only caught 1 ball. But there again, we see another 40-yard catch for Josh Gaines. Apparently, I mean, he could be receiving back as well.
Yeah, the two backs that Basha has to offer have been so good all year long. Noah and Josh just continue to shine their way to help this Basha offense.
Rogers out to his right. That's Baldwin with the catch. We know he's got some speed. So he's able to break it out to about the 25-yard line. And with only 8 minutes left remaining in this third quarter, you got to think Salpointe's got to come up with a stop quickly, as they are already down a heavy margin.
And we see at the end of the play, Jaden waving off another receiver who's coming on. He's good. Got a little shaken up there at the end.
And Rogers going for it all. Incomplete. Looking for Baldwin there in the back of the end zone. Trying to get him going because, I mean, he's a great player who just has had an off game tonight. Pretty sure he only has one catch that we just saw for 8 yards. Other than that, they really haven't been able to get the ball. 3rd and 2, this one going to Noah Roberts up the gut. He's able to power his way forward. Looks to be about a first down.
It's hard for Jaden Baldwin to get any receptions when we did see the Brody Veers connection to Cash Brock 2 times already for 2 deep passes, and then another connection by Brody to Noah at the back of the end zone for what looks like such an amazing catch from our angle by Noah.
And it will be a first down, 1st and 10. Trips out left. They will pass it this time. That is number 11, Christian Walker, with the reception. The team will get about a 2-yard gain. Bit of a modest gain, but brings up a 2nd down for the Bears, who have already driven in to the red zone.
All the Bears are going to have to offer here is they're just going to continue to keep and just hold on to the ball and try to not gain as many yards, but, gain some yards here.
Rogers going deep for Baldwin. Incomplete yet again, but flags fly, and that usually indicates pass interference. As the refs convene, we will see the call here in a second.
I have a feeling that you're right. It was kind of such an obvious call for when Jake Rogers threw that ball, and we know Jaden Baldwin used for his speed, and we were shocked that he couldn't get there, so it was kind of an obvious call that there was a pass interference just to hold him down just so he couldn't get to that ball.
And they will be calling the pass interference as Basha's offense already at the line. I mean, they sure are trying to go quick, make sure that they can get some of their backups to score. Jake Rogers out to the left. That's Josh Gaines almost getting in, but he's pushed out around the 1-yard line. And he looked into me, but apparently just short. I wonder if they're going to go back to him. We apologize for any technical difficulties we had. Score bug's a little bit off, kind of hard to operate, Bears 2nd and 1 from the 1 to go up by 44, and timeout Basha, as now we throw it to Jackson McDonald with some halftime stats and a little bit about the running clock rule.
Wonderful sponsors of our cheer squad. Speak, serving with purpose to empower and advocate.
So yeah, we saw some super efficient players from that first half, one of which being Cash Brock with 2 catches, 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns. However, right now, this is one of the rare instances this half where you'll see the clock stop. As when a team is up by 35 points or more in the second half, the play only stops for changes of possession, scores, and timeouts.
Thank you, Jackson, for that wonderful description. And I know last time we were up here, we had Reese come and describe it to us. A little bit confusing on his description. Again, glad to have you back. Reese still up here in the booth running that score bug. Basha, 1 yard to go for the touchdown. Up 38-0 already. They don't seem like they want to take their foot off the gas quite yet. In Gaines leaping into the end zone. That's something you don't see from him often. Usually he's more of a power through, run through your players, but there he goes through the air on that one. And it wasn't even a pass. He just kind of leaped over a couple players.
And it just a great use by Josh Gaines here. We know he's the power back of the two between him and Noah in that backfield. And it just shows to offer how many different plays that these guys can be used in, especially in the running game. And just for a short, simple 1 yard, an easy pick of a 6, and Mikey Barth with the extra point attempts.
And they perfectly timed that snap count. That would be number 7, Axel Martinez, but in the end, still goes through the post for the extra point. Remember to stay tuned after the game for Inside the Den, where me, Lucas, and Maddie will be interviewing the Burrito Express MVP and talking a little bit about the game. And looking at the stats right now, not trying to spoil anything, but it looks like we might have our first ever 2-time Burrito Express MVP.
For an ultimate service experience for all of your maintenance and repair needs at your home. And thinking of men's health, get back in the game.
In this game being a blowout, usually we'd see that student section drained by now, but night before homecoming, still pretty full as we see that Blackout Spirit Day. Everyone's participated in it.
I would not be shocked to see another whistle dead here before the ball even lands by Mikey with such a powerful leg.
And the kickoff is a touchback. Big thank you to State Farm and Kevin Cunningham. Call your neighborhood insurance specialist, Kevin Cunningham.
And in this game, Josh Gaines, one of the best players we've seen pretty much all season by the Bears, as you see him on screen right now. And that's a good little picture. We have him running through some players, but he's got 520 rush yards on the year with 7 touchdowns. Add an 8th one after that. And after this, he might be even higher than 9th and 6th in rush yards. He's had a great season so far. As we get back to the game, Alvarez handing it back off. And this one is Cheney again. Their run game just has not been working for them.
Yeah, and just to continue back to earlier when we did meet up and have a small little talk with head coach Pat Ryden for the Salpointe Lancers. Like I want to continue to say, one of their keys to the game was run the heck out of the ball, and we just haven't seen that all game, and still has improved as they are down by 45 points.
Alvarez looking to his left, trying to find Gorey down the middle, but in the end it's incomplete. That's number 30, Royal Dunlap, on the coverage there. And quickly now the Lancers are in a 3rd down situation.
We're going to see a lot of new faces to come onto this Bear defense, or some backups here. Coach McDonald of the Basha Bears probably does not want to injure any of his starters, as it looks to be so far they're going to improve to a good 7-0 on the season and remain number 1 in Arizona.
And Alvarez in the backfield, splits out wide. Alvarez rolling out to his left as he now is under fire and gets sacked. Landon Wade with the tackle.
Landon Wade, an up-and-coming sophomore who has had 6 offers so far. He's been doing pretty good, especially shining out for one of the younger ones on this Bears defense here. Many of the Bears defense here has plenty to offer and many offers, as I should continue saying the offer word, but it just continues to show how much that this Bears defense really helps this team be more solidified, and proving why they're the #1 team in Arizona.
The punt is up, looking for Caden Williams. And fun fact about Caden Williams, if you didn't tune in during halftime, he won Hoco royalty for the senior class. He is the homecoming king, and well-deserved. He had a punt return touchdown on the night. That definitely went into the voting, I'd say, 100%. So he's a great person and a great football player as the Bears take the field now, 45-0. Jake Rogers out there commanding this offense. Low snap, jet sweep. Never mind, Jake Rogers pulls it, takes it for about 5 yards. That was Tristan Saylor coming across the formation for the fake jet sweep. And Jake Rogers running it out to about the 40-yard line.
Really like that design play there. Obviously, maybe with the low snap there, they definitely would have continued with that jet sweep into Saylor. But because it was a low snap, Jake Rogers using a good mind of his just to keep the ball and gain 5 yards. It was a very nice play.
Rogers looking left, moving to the middle, where he finds L.J. Williams. That's a name we don't hear too often. He's been on this team. This is his second year now. He's a senior, and he's had a pretty good year for himself, getting some more targets in this game.
Like you said, a face we don't see often and a name we often don't call. You know, it's his time to shine out now, and especially in a big blowout so far with a 45-0 lead.
And down the middle here, Josh Gaines with the carry. Excuse me, Justin Miller. I saw the 3 and assumed it was Gaines, as he's blown up for a 1-yard gain. And now we see Justin Miller, Jake Rogers back in that backfield. Miller, another chance on this run. He's able to muster about 3 yards on that one, as that play will probably take us all the way down to the 4th quarter. The Bears up 45-0.
Wrapped up by Figueroa.
Though it does seem Basha's going to try and get a playoff. Never mind. That will be the end of the 3rd quarter. The running clock continues to roll down as Basha will have the ball. 3rd and 6 to go on the 24-yard line.
And as we head into this 4th quarter, I do want to get, as we near the time of the Open Division football playoffs, the Basha Bears sit atop the Open rankings for the playoffs. The top 4 teams are Basha, Hamilton, Liberty, and Chandler, with only Liberty being the only team with 1 loss. Every other 3 teams that I just mentioned, they are undefeated so far. They will receive byes for the first week, and they will wait to take on 5-seed Brophy, 6-seed Pinnacle, 7-seed Mountain View, 8-seed Red Mountain, 9-seed Williamsfield, 10-seed Higley, 11-seed Centennial, and as of right now, 12-seed Salpointe Catholic. But if they do lose this game, they will drop down to 4-3, and we could see another new ranking as we get closer to the Open football playoffs.
And Lucas, you just mentioned the rankings there, and Basha was #1, and quite frankly, it's not even close. Their rating is 5 points above the 2nd place team in Hamilton. And I mean, Jackson, 5 points doesn't seem like too much, but how much is 5 points really when it comes to this?
When you're talking in terms of the strength of 5 points, on the national rankings, that's enough to drop Basha from 18th to over 35th.
Roberts finding Miller. And Miller, an easy touchdown for him. That's 3 straight plays. They go to Justin Miller, and he gets his first ever varsity touchdown. Big number 3-7 with the TD.
It's always nice to see some new sophomores and maybe some freshmen always coming into this game and scoring their first touchdown. We can see by the cameras there, he was so excited when he scored. And it's just an overall very great experience to see some new faces get their first career touchdowns.
I mean, and scoring in the homecoming football game, I mean, I don't know what else can get you a date to homecoming better than that. In this one, don't know if it was a fake field goal, don't know if it was designed or not, but did not work if it was. And Basha will not increase their lead to 52. They stay up 51-0.
I do get why they were kind of trying to do some trick plays, even though they're already up 51-0. You know, especially as we get closer to the open football playoffs, like I said, if you ever need a trick play when you're down points just to catch a team off guard, you better work on it now while you're blowing out another team, because they're most likely not accepting it to it, and their body's already worn down because they're down so much points.
And Lucas, looking at the score of this game, Basha up 51-0. And something that we've seen in games prior, especially the last one, was blowouts like this. If they don't allow, if they don't allow Salpointe to score another touchdown or any touchdowns, I guess, it will be their second 50-point blowout victory in a row. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, obviously went on the road to Westwood in a game where they won 56-0. In this one, with a whole fourth quarter left to play, they're already up 51-0. So if they continue this and don't let them score, it could be an even bigger blowout than last week.
And like I just kind of continue to say, the Basha Bears are #1 in Arizona for a reason. As you just said, two games in a row, I should say, with the 50-point blowout without allowing a single point. It's just straight dominance at this point. Day in, day out, the boys, they work hard. They know what they have to get. They all have the same goal in mind, and that is getting all the way to the finals to play in, arguably, I mean, they could go, Arizona State is where they'll hold it, maybe go down to U of A. You never know. They kind of have different places where they take the state championship finals. Most of them have been in the ASU Stadium, and let me tell you, them boys love to play in the ASU Stadium.
And now we see the Lancers taking the field once again, but flags fly early. That will be a penalty on Landon Wade there. We just talked about his ability to make plays, but that time he makes one for the opposite team. 5-yard penalty for the encroachment. 1st and 5 now for the Lancers as Alvarez lines up in the backfield. Looking out to his left, Gorey tackled for a loss as we see number 26, Justin Maloney, the linebacker, playing out wide there, blowing through a block and getting that tackle.
Those are names we usually don't call because we rarely see them, but in a 50-point blowout like we've had for the past 2 weeks, it's very nice to see some new faces getting some playing time, and we enjoy it saying some new names because, I mean, we say the same names time and time again because they're the ones to make the big plays. Very nice to see some new people getting into this game late.
And that was actually Jeremiah Grimes on the tackle there. Sorry, Jeremiah. Didn't quite see the break in the 5 as Alvarez pulls it and gets a good little gain out to around the 30-yard line where he slides down. There is some laundry in the backfield, though. And it will be a hold on the offense.
Oh, you waved at me. I didn't. Dude, I don't even. I was trying to. Wait, I don't know who it is. There she is. Who?
And from a 2nd and 5 to a 2nd and about 20. Not too good of a turn of events for the Lancers as they are lining up 10 minutes to go in this game. Alvarez still in the backfield, sticking strong with their QB2. He's looking out to his right, and he finds number 1. That will be Dion. The ball comes loose, though, as he's trying to make something happen. Bash is able to jar the ball out, and it will be Basha ball. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse for the Salpointe Catholic Lancers, I mean, that happens, and that's just unfortunate, especially since we do have a player down on the field for Salpointe Catholic.
I was just about to say that. As you said, it couldn't be any worse. Number 1, Alan Dion, who did end up fumbling there. He kind of stayed there on the ground, maybe a little shaken up there. Hopefully he's okay, because it definitely could get worse, especially if he's going to be injured, because he's definitely one of those guys who is kind of a Travis Hunter type ass. We've seen him in that running back slot there, but then he's also a safety for the Salpointe Catholic team. Just a key player to get injured, and that's just not good, especially when your team's down 50 late in the 4th quarter.
The Bears offense taking the field once again. This will be their 3rd drive of the 2nd half, going back to Miller, who gets a great gain of about 15 yards. And I see Reese is a little excited over there. I know you guys used to be teammates. And right now we see Miller touching the ball yet again, as he is on fire in this 2nd half. He seems to be the go-to guy for the Bears. That will bring up 2nd and about 7. As Rogers still playing a little bit of hurry-up offense as he keeps this one going up the gut, and diving in for the score. What a touchdown for him. And now we'll have Maddie Smith down on the sideline with another update for us.
Today I'm here with Carlos, who is the president of your Basha Booster Club. And so the Legacy Lawn has been going on for a little bit now. How did this project come about?
So, I heard about it last year, and we started promoting it, but it just didn't pick up any steam. So this year we decided to make it smaller, and people financed it, and started a small section, the Legacy Lawn that we have right now, and that's expected to grow and grow and grow.
What is the ultimate goal of creating the Legacy Lawn?
So it's to raise funds for the football team. So for years and years to come. So you could purchase the bricks, and it could be, 4 years from now, you can purchase more bricks, and 4 years from then, you purchase more bricks, and have to come back years later with their families, and you can say, hey, here's my brick.
That is awesome. Now, can anyone buy a brick?
Any student can buy a brick, any athlete can buy a brick.
Where would they go to buy those?
You can go to www.classicfootball.com.
Oh, thank you. We're excited to see where the Legacy Lawn grows from here. Thanks. Back to you guys.
And I mean, it's not so often that you get to, interview a fan up here in the booth, but we got Reese Thompson with us, and he's a huge fan of Justin Miller. So Reese, what do you think about Miller in the 2nd half?
I mean, I'm great friends with Miller. I have a class with him this year. He's a dog. He's going to be great. I love him so much. And he connected for that 24-yard touchdown catch. And I think he's going to be a great running back for the Bears, honestly, Tate.
Well, thank you, Reese. And, I mean, looking a little awkward on camera right there for so long after, but Justin Miller, friends with Reese. Apparently he loves him. As now the Salpointe Catholic Lancers taking the field, about 8.5 minutes left in this ball game.
Now, I know as many of us do see the clock and it being counting down towards 8 minutes left, but it being a blowout for the Bears winning this game 58-0 so far. But I would kind of like to see the Salpointe Catholic team try to get some points on the board, just kind of go out with a positive final drive, and just so they can reflect on that drive and kind of make it their game plan for the next coming weeks.
And speaking of positive drive, Alvarez loading it up deep. That was number 9, David Rushing on the catch. And the Lancers finally getting some offense. Don't know if they'll be able to mount a 58-point comeback with only 7 minutes left in the game, but if that had happened just like a little bit earlier, something maybe could have happened.
I really like that play there, even though I hate to discredit them being down 58 points, but like I just previously said before, they can kind of take some of these plays and focus on next week, because they do need to bounce back, as they are in the 12th seed for the Open State playoffs, and they kind of do need to hang on there, because if they want a shot at a state title run, they're going to need that 12th seed, because if you're not in the top 12, unfortunately, you're eliminated and you just don't get to play playoffs.
And the Bears call the timeout there. A little bit interesting. Would have thought that they would want to get this game over with as soon as possible, but apparently not. Wanted to get some more people some reps here on this homecoming night that they have dominated all game long. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line for the Lancers.
Yeah, I was like you said, it's always special to play on homecoming night for any high school, really. And then like you did say how Basha is dominating, one of the facts that we do have is the Lancers have not won against Basha since 2008.
Yeah, I mean, you know it's a winning drought when you didn't even win when you had Bijan Robinson on your team, which, I mean, not good. Just shows how good of a program the Bears have been and how dominant they've been in Arizona. 1st and 10, Alvarez looking outside. He's got it to number 33, Eric. Gutierrez, think that's how you pronounce it. Bringing up a 2nd and 1 for the Lancers as they try to put points up on the board.
Like you did say before, the play was there. Their former alum, Bijan Robinson, obviously you can argue that he is the best running back, so it does prove to show how good they were as of earlier than as of late now, especially without a win against Basha since 2008, like I previously stated.
And Alvarez able to find Felipe Bryant Lopez there on the shallow crosser to the right. And he will get a 1st down, moving those chains as we see about 6 minutes, 20 seconds left in this game. Alvarez in the backfield, looking out to his left, rolling out towards the sideline, and ultimately he stuffed what flags deuce fly. Could be a little bit of a late hit there.
I think you did call it. It is definitely going to be a late hit. We can obviously see him just giving up his body just to get to the sideline, and he was already jogging once he hit that sideline. And then 2 Bears just decided let's just, lay the hit stick on him. And he's shaken up over there on the far sideline. So that is not good, especially when you did see with Alvarez, you did see some more positive yards happening and a way to find some momentum going, but unfortunately it is too little too late.
Alvarez looking out to his right. He finds his man, but the ball seems to have popped out there. Or not. My eyes have been tricking me lately. That's Eric again on the catch.
The clock is ticking towards 5 minutes left in this fourth quarter. And I think for the Salpointe team, I think all you want to do kind of with these 5 minutes ticking down is just score points. You're down 58. It would just be nice to at least have one touchdown on the board and not where you just have straight up 0 points. Alvarez fires towards the left side of that end zone, but it is incomplete. More time is just going to continue to clock as it is a running clock. Previously stated, if a team is up 35 points, the running clock happens for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and we're far away from that 35-point mark as the Bears are close to doubling that. 12 more points would put them at 70, which I don't see happening here as running clock with only 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in this matchup. Not 16 minutes. We apologize about the score bug. And Cheney trying to run up the middle, but nothing.
Cheney on the carry. Tackled by Liniger.
Cheney looks like he lost his hand warmer bag on that play. It is kind of a cold night here in Chandler, Arizona, where we don't get many cold nights as a new storm came in. The temperatures have dropped, and many of us kind of got sick for it before this week, but we're all ready. We've all been commentating the game. We're all happy in this booth, and we're ready just to finish the last 3.5 minutes of this game for you guys.
And Alvarez talking in the backfield. Hands off to Cheney, and look at that. Gets in for the touchdown. 4th down, they decide to run it. 4th and 5, a little bit of a risky play, but it ends up working.
A nice play there on Salpointe, excuse me, sorry. A nice play there by Salpointe just to get some points on the board. Very nice to see him score, but unfortunately it is with only 3 minutes and 17 seconds left on the clock, so really there kind of is no way of winning this game. Kind of already a Basha blowout, so many of these fans are going to go home very excited as we see kind of towards that far sideline the Salpointe team and their fan section kind of losing some fans here, and then unfortunately as it is getting late heading towards 9:20 on the night, it is unfortunately a 2-hour drive back towards Tucson where Salpointe is, as we do see a late guard come onto the field for this extra point.
And that kick is up and good. 58-7, cutting the lead to 51. And you just said they couldn't come back, but there is a possibility. Who am I kidding? I don't believe what I just said.
Yeah, I hate to break it up there.
Yeah.
I think it's too late for a comeback.
Yeah, 3 minutes, 17 seconds left on the clock. And the Bears will be getting the ball back. I'd expect just for them to run it out, but who knows? These backups coming in this second half have been very productive, have 3 touchdowns this half. So I wonder if they're going to try and score number 4.
And like you did say, a comeback. Obviously, comeback is just not on the table. But that does not mean up here in the booth we lose hope. we're all here excited just to call a good game, and we hope you guys, you fans at home, have been entertained by our commentary, and we do want to say sorry for all our mistakes here ran by a student broadcast. If there's any technical difficulty issues, please let us know. We'll try to fix it for the future, and if so, we hope you guys have a good night.
Salpointe, their second kickoff of the game, and it's up and unable to be returned. Mason Lewis trying to do so. The Bears will start their drive at the 20-yard line. And Jackson, we're going to bring you on here once again. Just tell us a little bit about the stats throughout this game.
You know, it's always interesting seeing how 4 quarterbacks have played in this game, but the best 2 tonight have been both the Bashas, with Jake having 2 and Brody having 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and as we know, this Basha team is full of talent. Even their backup quarterbacks or backup players have been able to do wonders for this team. As now we see another change up in quarterback. If my eyes do not deceive me, does that number start with a 4? Number 43, he's not on the roster list.
And if I were to say,
Jenkins is what I'm hearing. JV quarterback coming up, playing when the Bears up by 51.
yeah, I was just going to say we don't have him on the roster, so unfortunately he is going to be a JV guy, but hey, just because you're JV doesn't mean you can't show out on varsity for a game, even if there is still only 3 minutes left. But what's best for him is just to show up and command this team for their last drive as we head towards 2 minutes left of this 4th quarter. Let's see what he has to offer, especially for having short little notice, as probably a last-second pickup from JV.
Speaking of last-second pickups from JV, I mean, Justin Miller has had himself a game in this second half. And yes, the Salpointe team is demoralized, but I mean, Gaines is leaving next year. He's a senior. Maybe he can fill in for sort of that role. Obviously, not as big of a body, not as strong of a person as Gaines, but that can come with time. As we see a little bit of extracurriculars on the field between LJ Williams and Von Burchak.
Thank you for you didn't butcher his name, because that definitely could have been bad live on air, but
And that will be, once again, a loss of yardage for the Bears, bring up a 3rd and about 6 to go as this clock is running down. Less than a minute remaining in this game. Remember to stay tuned. After the game, we'll have Inside the Den, where we talked a little bit about the game. We'll go and look at some of the other teams in Arizona, how their games are going, the overall overview of the Open Division playoffs, and an interview with the Burrito Express Fast and Fresh MVP. Jaden Jenkins, one last run, and this game is all but over as the clock is winding down. 20 seconds to go, and they seem to just want to let it run down as the players are already going on the field. What a night it was for the Bears. A dominant 58-7 point victory in which almost everybody on their roster and even not on their roster got to play. Jaden Jenkins, shout out to him. And this was a great game for the Bears. It really has got to boost their confidence going into their next week matchup against Hamilton, as we will now see you down on the sideline on Inside the Den.
Thank you for coming out this evening and supporting Basha Athletics. And as always, please drive home safely.
the Bears hit today on defense, which was huge for them.
Yeah, and just to throw it to offense, Brody Veers, I mean, what a day. Even though he only had 185 passing yards, he had a couple bombs there, and especially 3 touchdowns, which really shined. 2 to Cash Brock, which were really deep, which he also shined. Can't wait to get on to, I think, are we going to throw it to the MVPs?
Yeah, I think we'll have them come on pretty soon because our first ever 2-person Burrito Express MVP, and you guys can come in right now. Cash Brock and Brody Veers. I mean, I only got one of these things, so you guys got to fight over it. I could bring a second one to practice. Who wants it?
No, you got it. You got it. You got it.
Okay. You two were.
You guys are ready, prepared to go into playoffs and take it in?
I mean, yeah, I think, we're going to let every, game by game just go. Okay. Or do I keep going?
We apologize for some technical difficulties. It's been a common theme of today's game for those of you who have watched the broadcast. So we apologize for that. Maddie, if you could ask your question one more time.
Playoffs are soon in the rising. You only a couple more games until it starts again. You guys being the top team right now in the open division, are you guys looking excited to go into that? You have your everything planned out, going to go in strong?
Yeah, I think just, take one game at a time, any given Friday, rankings don't really matter. We had a Cali team come in ranked high above us, we won. So it's really about, the little things, and throughout the week, building up. So we can't really look too far ahead. We just got to look at the next opponent in front of us.
Yeah, I would say just going off what he said, just not worrying about the future right now, just looking on the next week and the next week and the next week and just stacking dubs. And then once playoff time comes, we'll see what happens.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. First ever double Burrito Express Fast and Fresh MVP. Just shows how good of a tandem you two have been today. So thank you for joining us yet again. Can't wait to watch you guys the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A lot of handshakes just went on right there. A little bit of confusion. Kind of looked like Salpointe's defense today, where Cash Brock was running routes. That's it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. It's been a wild broadcast, to say the least. A lot of technical difficulties, like I just said. So thank you for joining us tonight. Don't forget to check out all of our socials. Good night.
Wait, can you guys what next?
next. I'm gonna get one.